The following is a presentation of the NABL.
Now for tonight's starting lineup.
Wow! There's a poster play, folks. Oh.
We are underway here in Atlanta, Georgia for the Championship Series final.
Look at the air. Look at the hang time. Look at the flying motion.
3, 2, 1. It's over. What a game. Oh, my goodness.
Time to celebrate a title.
Kicks it to Eric Nunzio, all alone to his own devices. Nunzio for three.
Boom, shakalaka.
Are you not entertained?
The San Antonio Lions are the 2017 champions of the North American Basketball League.
The fans have stormed the court.
This is the NABL.
Hey, welcome back to the BackCourt. I'm Ken Buckner, and it is now in the books. Week number 1 of the 2018 NABL season officially has kickstarted the basketball year, and though it may not have kickstarted up any fires, to fully bring an end to this horrible winter that so many of you are still, suffering throughout the country, it did bring an end to the NABL's off-season, which in its very own definition is heartwarming and court-warming. So, even though many of you are still feeling the bitter chill, especially in our northeastern and Midwest divisions, here I tell you what. Let's. It's all the rage right now. Let's step into the oasis. Yes, where the BackCourt will transport you to a better, warmer place where anything is possible. Why am I whispering?
And you'll be in a world of pure imagination.
Welcome to the BackCourt Oasis. It's a place where the limits of basketball reality are only your own imagination. People come to the BackCourt for all the things they can see, but they stay for all the things they can be. Like some short little unathletic white guy who can dunk finally, when in real life I can't even touch the net. This new technology is totally amazing, right? I mean, you ought to try it. You ought to try this. Here, give it a go. Okay, maybe not the most. You expected maybe a little more high tech, perhaps. Because of this show's budget, and these aren't even plugged in. At least now we can, afford an 8-bit, right? Huh? Who didn't love that game, right? I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, this show was 4-bit, and of course, by definition, the BackCourt is a 2-bit operation. Anyway, step into reality and go back to the week that was week number 1. Oh, a wise man once said wisely, to be the man, you've got to beat the man. Of course, that wise philosopher was, yes, the Nature Boy. Yeah. But when it came to the defending and reigning NABL champions, well, that stood to be the case indeed, as the San Antonio Lions opened up their home court to open the season to the expansion Texas Toros, a week number 1 Southwest Division matchup in the NABL. And though one might have thought that there might have been some rust to knock off the trophy-holding Lions, oh, no. A throttling, statement-making claim that the Lions are not only ready to defend their 2017 title, but lay waste to any and all that try to take it here in 2018. San Antonio, the Lions roar out to a 153-116 opening weekend victory over the team from Houston, the Toros. And hey, who else would it be to lead the way for the NABL leaders? Well, it is our first NABL player of the week for week number 1, Lions guard. Let's go to the Alamo City and check in with Eric Stewart. Well, hey, here on the backcourt, we go to great lengths to catch the stars and the players that you want to see, that you see on the court. And heck, we'll even go to Walmart to do it. And that's where we're at right now. How are you, Eric Stewart?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. How y'all doing?
Very, very good. Hey, could you pick me up some 2-ply while you're over there, too? I'm kind of up here at the studios.
I got you.
All right, very cool. All right, well, let's dive right in. Eric Stewart, a huge performance in the 153-116 throttling last Saturday of the Texas Toros. San Antonio Lions, hey, again, keep their winning ways going, 1-0 on the young season, and 42 points in that game for you, Eric. 5 assists, 3 rebounds, and 2 steals. Talk about your performance against the Toros personally, and also as far as the team went against the Toros in that big victory.
What can I say? Well, like I said last year, we come out, we try to play our brand of basketball, get the ball moving, apply a little defensive pressure, and just play together. So coming in the first game, I didn't really want to force anything, so I just tried to hit open shots. And once I got in the rhythm, I just kept shooting.
Yeah, and when it comes to the San Antonio Lions offense, man, when you guys find that rhythm, forget about it. I mean, 153, man, that's a pretty decent point total right there. Not quite the record, but only, within 10 points of the scoring total that you guys set last year in the NABL for 2017. But, you picked right back up personally where you left off, as did the Lions. As you, I know, right? There's detractors everywhere, man, even in the own family. But talk about what you worked on personally on your game in the off season.
Well, to be honest, Ken, man, I got hurt not like right after the season was over.
Oh,
and I actually was sitting out, man. I haven't really played for 9 months, so that game was actually like my first game really being back on the court.
Oh my gosh. and there's 42 points right there. Holy cow.
So I mean, this off season, but I didn't really play much, but I was in the weight room and I conditioned a lot just to stay in shape. But as far as basketball wise, I just really shot the ball and that's it.
How about that? Some breaking news here on the backcourt. My goodness, man. Well, 42 points in your return back to the court. Looks like there was 0 rust to knock off right there, man. So, but you're 100% healthy and raring just fine right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. NABL Player of the Week, Eric Stewart, which, how many times was it last year? 5 times, I believe?
I don't know.
It was a lot. I mean, I talked to you more than I talked to my mom, for crying out loud, on the backcourt last year. It was great. But, man, another Player of the Week honor to start off 2018. And knowing that you did that coming off of injury and really your first game back on the court, man, that's got to mean a little bit more than maybe even some of the previous Player of the Week.
Yeah, it did. It actually, surprisingly, like, during the game, the guy that was doing the score table was like, yo, you're killing right now. And I didn't realize how many points I had. And then once he told me after the game, I was just like, wow, just first game back, like that's pretty good. So I kind of surprised myself, to be honest.
Well, it's no surprise that we have you here again on the show, man. And another great season starting off for not only Eric Stewart, but the San Antonio Lions, as we said, take on the Mustangs down there in the Alamo City coming up this Saturday at 5. All right. Well, I'll let you get back to your shopping, man, and do your duties as a dad, too, because it never ends. But appreciate the time. Appreciate the time again. We'll see you soon on the backcourt.
All right, man. It was good talking to y'all, man.
All right. There he is, Eric Stewart, man. Seriously, and don't forget the 2-ply. It's fierce over here. Hey, for more of the Backcourt's interview with Eric Stewart, well, just check it out right here on the official online home of the NABL, NABLbasketball.com. Or just maybe head yourself to a nearby San Antonio Walmart and just ask them personal questions. And if you go, please do not forget. Thank you. It's getting serious. Up the road in Dallas, 2 new NABL franchises took on each other in the NABL Southwest Division in the battle for Big D between the rival Dallas Mustangs, the upstarts, and then the hard-nosed veterans, the Dallas Diesel. Yes, a lot of athletics in this one, but the Diesel started off very strong from the tip, built an early lead in the first quarter, and they did it all behind the lights out shooting. Man, this guy was on fire. Steve Johunkin. Steve hit his first 4 attempts from behind the arc for 3. But the Mustangs battled back and led after the first quarter, 32-30. Then Mustangs guard, former University of South Carolina standout Josh Goner, had a breakout second quarter in which he scored 15 points. He had 21 total in the first half, and that fueled the efforts as the Mustangs led into halftime in the locker room, 69-56. From there, here comes hello Mustang defense. The D of Mustang started taking over, holding the Diesel to only 20 points in the third, while the Mustangs then bench piled on and continued to pour it on, heading ultimately to a 125-109 Dallas Mustangs victory. Despite notching a game-high 45 points, high five to you, Steve Joe Hunkin. Well, he was the lone offensive standout for the Dallas Diesel. Leading scorers, though, for the Mustangs, it was a full team effort, as we said. Josh Goner, 33 points. Tyler Jefferson, 17. Vernon Lewis, 13. Terrence Sion, 12. Brandon Regis, 10. A total team victory for the Mustangs. And why Paul Parker's newest club is one to be feared. You know, just like his previous ones. Funny how that works, right? In the NABL Southeast Division, the expansion Tuscaloosa Titans opened up their 2018 and first ever weekend in the NABL by hosting a back-to-back, a Saturday-Sunday doubleheader weekend, right? Go big or go home if you're going to do it at all. I mean, their name is the Titans. It's not the Giant. There's not the Jolly Green Titan. At home in Alabama, Saturday, the Titans welcome in the veteran NABL squad, the Savannah Cavaliers. Titans jumped out early in this one, though Savannah, came out swinging in the first quarter. But in front of their home crowd in Tuscaloosa, the Titans never looked back, outscoring the Cavaliers 71-43 in the first half alone. At the intermission and then after, there was no letting up, and the narrative didn't change. Titans continued on the way to a resounding 141-86 victory over Savannah. It was all fueled in game number 1 of that weekend by a 26-point performance by Jamichael Rivers and 22 points by DeAndre McIntyre. The Titans had 7 players, by the way, in that game in double figures. Reigning NABL MVP Bernard Paul Parks, he notched 15 points in the win in his first game wearing the Titans maroon and white. And I also want to note for Savannah, though, great performances by Antonio Pope, 24 players, Antoine Albright, always strong, 18, and Brian Edwards coming in, former NABL Player of the Week, with 16 points. The Titans, though, they had more work to do. They didn't stop there. Doubling down on this opening NABL weekend because, as we've been told, and Vince Vaughn says, you always double down, baby, right? Yeah, what? Always double down.
You always double down on left. I know, but it's too
hard.
Double down.
All right, the Titans kept their winning ways alive with a more defensive performance in this one on Sunday, a 95-87 victory over the traveling Miss Lou Warriors. Of course, Miss Lou, a playoff team a year ago, jumped out early, but ended up falling as the Titans stormed back in the second. Backing up his 22-point performance from a day before was the Titans' DeAndre McIntyre, scored a team-high 20 in that victory on Sunday. Tuscaloosa was also aided by standout plays Ron Singleton with 17 and Antonio Penny with 11. Interesting to know, Bernard Parks notched only 8 points in the win. Had some assists, though, but the Miss Lou Warriors fell despite their amazing standout performance of Brian Sylvester. He had a game-high 41 points in the losing effort. Whew. That stings. But the Warriors, this is worth noting, they did make the trip without the services of their leading scorer from a year ago, Gary Stewart, and more on that coming up. But all of them should rejoin their next game in the Warriors' efforts. But man, that lack of Stewart and others combined with the tenacity of the Titans defense, that was enough to move Tuscaloosa to 2-0 on this young 2018 NABL season. As for the other side of this story, well, let's head to Tuscaloosa, shall we? And maybe get a bumper sticker and a neat t-shirt on the way. I mean, we're racking up a lot of frequent flyer miles already in the backcourt. Let's check in with co-owner and in the front office of the Titans, and an awesome player in his own right, too. Jaylin Prewitt's on the backcourt.
Well, Savannah, you got to give them credit. They're a tough, scrappy team. They came to play, and I just give them guys credit. They came and fought, and at first, even though the score didn't indicate it, it was a hard fought first quarter, and going into the second quarter, it was close. But we started pulling away mid second quarter, and we have some guys that can go. Jermichael Rivers, Ron Singleton at the post. We got Donald King. The list goes on and on. McIntyre, Parks, especially. And I credit Coach to Marcus Prewitt for being able to put all that talent together on one team, and everybody being okay and being able to gel with other people. That was really good to see.
Well, let's switch to the Sunday matchup then against the Miss Lou Warriors. Miss Lou, a playoff team for the first time in their history last year in the NABL, and Coach Calvin Thomas certainly has been putting his squad back together. They traveled with a few of their key parts missing, but still, it was a more defensive game in that 95-87 victory over the Warriors. A little more hard fought. Talk about your players' efforts in that victory.
Yes, my players' efforts. We came out sluggish, man. To be honest, we came out sluggish. They jumped on us a 10-point lead in the second quarter, but our guys fought. They still had their heartbeat. They still had that competitiveness, and you got to credit Coach Cal and Miss Lou for coming out and waking us up in a sense. They woke us up, and the players realize every game's not going to be like Saturday. It's going to be a dogfight. And also shout out to number 25 on Miss Lou team, Brian Sylvester. He had 41 points, 10 rebounds and 8 or 9 blocks. We couldn't do anything with him, but it was a team effort. We pulled away down the stretch. We put a point guard on him, to be exact, and he started missing a couple shots down the stretch with 3 minutes to go, and we pulled away.
All right, well, check out my full interview with Tuscaloosa's Jaylin Prewitt right here, of course, at NABLbasketball.com. Elsewhere in the Southeast, the fight for Florida took place. Well, at least round one of it. Yes, to the winner goes the spoils, and to the loser win a citrus-flavored cup of defeat. Which still provides you, by the way, with your daily dose of vitamin C. So, hey, we're all about nutrition. That is the scientific formula for vitamin C. We're educational on the backcourt. The Tampa Bay Hawks, they were putting on a clinic themselves. Opened up their court to the Florida Gym Rats. These two teams from across the bay from each other took on one another, and it was the Tampa Bay Hawks who had the successful season opener on Saturday night. A 150-74 shellacking over the Gym Rats. Man, they got caught in a mousetrap, didn't they? That was the first game of the Tampa Bay Hawks playing in the North American Basketball League, so what a statement-making game. 6 Hawks in that one ended up with double digits on the scoring column, led by Jerrick Stevenson's 28 points, and that performance was enough to make Stevenson our second NABL Player of the Week. To Florida! Hey, man, congratulations, first of all, on the victory and being NABL Player of the Week.
Thank you.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about that game. Talk about your performance within it and kind of how it all played out on the court against the Gym Rats this past weekend.
Well, we're a well-coached team. So, we came out there, we had a game plan. We're fast-paced, so it just came natural that we scored a lot of points. So when we got out there, it was just layups. And as you can see, I was 9 for 11. So I was shooting a lot of layups and getting it to the hole, so it was good.
Well, you were also doing it from downtown as well, too, from behind the arc. You had a stellar, 60-plus percentage from behind the three.
It was like 3 for 5, yeah. I know, just when we were wide open, I'm expected to hit it. So I was shooting wide open shots the whole day, so it was good.
Very good. You make it sound simple enough. If only it was.
It was pretty simple.
All right. Well, when you found out that you were one of our NABL Players of the Week, what went through your mind? What does this mean to you?
It means a lot. I don't know much about the league. This is my first year. I've done other leagues over in I've done ABA and FBA, but as I can see, this is a lot more organized, more structured. So I'm liking it already.
Well, very cool. All right, now away from the court, what do you like to do?
Right now, I'm doing a lot of substitute teaching, so I'm thinking about going down that path and becoming a teacher. If basketball doesn't work out, so that's what I do as outside of basketball.
And I think we've just found a nickname for you, the Professor. How about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm good at math, so I do a lot of math classes and stuff like that. So.
Well, fantastic. That makes one of us. That's fantastic. Well, it didn't take much math to total up the 28 points in the big victory, and doubling up and then some on the Florida Gym Rats. Is this a sign of things to come from the Tampa Bay Hawks? Yeah,
we're a team full of people that can just score. Like last game was my game, but I'm positive like 4 or 5 other people could do the same thing I did. So.
All right.
I have a lot of faith in our team.
Well, there he is, one of our NABL players of the week from Tampa, Florida, and the Tampa Bay Hawks, Jerrick Stevenson. Man, appreciate you being on the backcourt, and I'm sure we'll have you back on again throughout the season.
Looking forward to it.
All right, there he is. Again, check out more of that interview with Jerrick Stevenson, NABLbasketball.com. You get the theme yet? All right, the NABL's opening weekend also saw 2 league teams compete in some non-league action. Yes, we'll dabble. We'll play around sometimes. The venerable Music City Kings took 3 overtimes to take down a team from Georgia. How about this for a scoring total? 166 to 157. Man, 3 OTs. Yeah, I bet. That even make crying Jordan cry harder. Still funny, isn't it? I know it's old. And then the farthest northern team as far as latitude goes in the NABL, the Grand Rapids Danger, opened up their new arena and venue in front of a packed crowd of Danger fans, which is a neat club that I want to be a part of. Just to have a card, because it's been my middle name for years. Anyway, it's their name, and it has been for several years too, as the Grand Rapids Danger took on the West Michigan Lake Hawks, where 4 Danger players scored 20 plus scored 20 plus points in the Danger's 146 to 121 win. Now, you may remember last week on the backcourt where we defiantly announced that Grand Rapids guard Jamell Hatchett was a player to watch. And to those who said I didn't know what I was talking about when I said early candidate for MVP, yes, all of you just lining up to take a slap in my face. Saturday night, Hatchett poured in the 28 points and he made me look smart. And it makes him our 3rd NABL player of the week for week 1. All right. Well, first of all, before we go any further, talk about your big 28-point plus performance in the win this past weekend.
Oh, I felt really real good. I just wanted to do what's necessary to lead us to that victory. So, and everything was so happen to fall for me at that point.
Very good, man. You were one of my preseason picks to already be in the mix. You saw that? Well, yeah, for MVP. All right. So when you saw that, is that something you were like, oh, yeah, or, oh, man, don't do that to me this early?
No, it's very, very exciting. Being able to even be mentioned as that, I was very blessed for that. And thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, certainly. Well, tell everybody that's not maybe familiar with you about your game, some of your history within the game and whatnot.
No, this is our 3rd year with the Danger. We was in a different league. Now we enter here with the NABL, which is awesome. I played college ball before then. I actually was just coaching it, those things, and Alan Durham, the owner, decided to give me a shot at playing with the Danger, which was a good blessing for me. My game, I'm a leader. Out there on the court, I make plays, playmaker, whatever I have to do. Like I said before, whatever the coach wants me to do, I do, and probably try to intensify it and make it that much better. Make it look good on the court.
Very good. So. All right. Well, your big 28 performance there in that 141 to 128 victory for the Grand Rapids Danger, I'm sure you've seen by now, has made you one of our players of the week here for week number 1. What popped into your mind when you saw that and heard that, and what does that mean to you?
That it don't mean much if we didn't get the win.
Yeah.
It means a lot to contribute to the wins and stack them up. I think it means we're going to shock a lot of people in this NABL. We're going to do great things, and that's exciting, man. And then mention me as the player of the week. It's exciting, it's almost like oh man, do I got to do this again, or do I got to? But it's no pressure at all. When you out there playing your game and doing what's best for the team. So I don't want to get I don't really get caught up into the the MVP, the player of the week, whatever. I'm looking to win the whole thing, and then we could put me where y'all want to put me.
All right, you know what I'm going to say, right? More of my interview with Jamell. NABLbasketball.com. Good, we're learning. We're in this together. Okay, so that wraps up week number 1 of the 2018 NABL season. Where to go now? Oh, so little to do and so much time to do it in. Wait, take that in reverse. Five games take to the court on the second week of the NABL's 2018 regular season, and some seriously showdowns. So let's take with a serious look at the NABL Southwest Division. All right, the 1-0 San Antonio Lions right back at it, playing host to the 1-0 Dallas Mustangs. For a closer insight on this, let's go back to San Antonio. Check in with guard Eric Stewart. Well, a new opponent as far as jerseys and name goes, but some of the familiar faces will be on the court facing you guys at 5 p.m. in San Antonio on Saturday, and that would be the Dallas Mustangs. New to the NABL this year, but like I said, you're going to see Jarvis Bradley down there. You're going to see some players that you've certainly went up against before, Brandon Regis and whatnot, and of course head coach Paul Parks bringing his squad to the table there, so you certainly know all about Coach Paul. So preview this game a little bit. It'll be on your home court. What do you got to do to get the win and the W against the Mustangs?
Well, like I said, you said it's a new team, but I do know the guys that you named. But I just approach it with our same mind frame. Come out, limit their runs, capitalize on every opportunity we can. 50-50 balls, we got to win. Control the game, no turnovers. And as far as that, I feel like we have a chance of winning.
All right. Of course, as we said, there's some familiar faces on that Mustang squad, including, of course, head coach Paul Parker. I saw the game last week in person where the Mustangs took down the Diesel, and I can tell you that Dallas is deep on the bench. Okay, but the Lions have this winning thing down to an art right now, okay? So this should be a great one and arguably the marquee matchup of week number 2 in the NABL. Also in the Southwest Division, 2 0-1 teams look to at least get back to 500 as the Texas Toros will leave Houston again and travel for the second straight week. This time they go east and they go to Faraday, Louisiana, as the Miss Lou Warriors are waiting for them. Miss Lou, as we said, dropped their first game in large part to not playing with about 80 of their players. May have been a slight exaggeration. Well, they are at full force this Saturday for a Toros Warriors 6 p.m. tip-off. In the Southeast, it's a pair of matchups as the Florida Gym Rats, they try to get off the schneid and head to Savannah to face the Cavaliers. Both teams, looking for their first W. Wrong. Cute. And the 2-0 Tuscaloosa Titans head up to Nashville to take on the Music City Kings. Hey, and for more on that, why not? While we still got them on hold, back on the backcourt to Titans GM. Let's go to Jaden Prewitt. What do you see going into this game, and what does Tuscaloosa need to do to make it 3-0?
I see going into this game, it's going to be a hard-fought game because they're ready for us. I know you probably heard that we played them in the preseason and the outcome was lopsided, but I expect them to be very, very ready come Sunday because Nashville is a tough place to play. But also what our guys need to do is take care of business. This is not a vacation. This is a business trip to Nashville, handle business, and get ready for Tampa Bay, and that's a tough team. What we seen the score, and
Yeah. Already looking ahead. I got that one circled too, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Finally, I cannot wait to honestly check this one out. As the Grand Rapids Danger hosts the Du Bois Dream. It is Du Bois Dream. It is not Dubois Dream. Okay? They'd have to be in Canada for that. An interdivisional NABL matchup taking place in Grand Rapids, where it will be a forecasted 40 degrees outside. So now aren't you glad that the NABL plays basketball indoors? Yeah. So that's it for week number 2. But as the bulk of the NABL has just begun their 2018 campaigns and season, the newly added NABL Northeast Division has already been going quite strong for a little while now. Yes, I know. But as we said in Amish country, you got to have something to do, right? Okay. Not another week of Amish jokes. No, the division champion has been secured in the Great Lakes region of the NABL. Yeah. All right, let me explain it. Congrats to the Jamestown Jackals, the 2018 Northeast Division champs of the NABL. Now, wait a minute. All right, there, Ken. Hold up. I said, hold up.
Hold up. I don't love you like I love you.
Some wonder how the NABL season is just starting, but this team, the Jackals, have already a spot in the NABL Championship Series. Well, at the beginning of the year, the NABL brought on 4 teams from the East Coast, from New York and Pennsylvania and DC. They were in another league before the NABL. They joined us. So because their fans were used to supporting these teams through January through April, well, honestly, it would have been kind of silly to upset the apple cart and make their fans angry. Now, NABL fans, and disrupt tradition because they didn't have time to properly advertise and warn their fans and let them know. So therefore, only this season, the NABL front office has allowed the Northeast Division to start earlier than everyone else. Now, next season, they're going to play at the same time as all the other NABL teams. But Jamestown Jackals will continue to play exhibition games until July and into the postseason to keep their team prepared for the NABL Championship Series. Of course, they're in San Antonio. So, all right, we good? We got that? Everybody understand? All right. Congratulations to the Jamestown Jackals, NABL Northeast Division champions. They have earned that spot in the series. Here they are with the mayor celebrating. As they should. Wonder if they got a key to a city, which is supposedly like unlocks everything, but the thing is so darn big. I don't get it. All right. Pick time. Ooh, I don't know if you were counting. We went 5-0 last week. Is that what I look like when I do that? All right, so let's not completely ruin it. In our first game of this week, number 2, let's do some picking. Dallas Mustangs at San Antonio, in San Antonio, yes. A talented roster for Paul Parker's Mustangs will head south on I-35, but talent awaits them, honestly. And that talent, well, they're champions. If this was only Eric Stewart's first game back last week, watch out, man. He's just getting warmed up. Oh, yeah. So until they give me a reason not to pick them, give me the Lions over the Mustangs. Then, as the Texas Toros head to Miss Lou to face the Warriors, there's one big factor in this one. Coach Calvin Thomas of Miss Lou gets his full stable of horses to run up and down the court. So, along with Brian Sylvester, who we said knocked down, 40-plus points single-handedly last week for the Warriors. Then comes Gary Stewart, Ronald Ellis, Cordarius Johnson, forwards Deontay Hearns, Kenny Jackson, Tyler Chason. Wow. A neat little wrinkle, though, in this one, too. The Texas Toros are going to bring 3 former Miss Lou players, Al Francis, Alrion McKeel, and Peter Trent, to face their former team. So even with that added firepower, man, and then home court on their side, I got to take Miss Lou to win their first divisional game of the year. All right, to the southeast, where I will pick the Savannah Cavaliers to finish strong through 4 quarters in this one and take the win against a traveling Florida Gym Rats team. In Nashville, the Music City Kings host their NABL season opener against that rising tide, the Titans, out of Tuscaloosa. We'll get to see how the Titans travel in this one. That's worth noting, but I believe they're going to pack rather lightly and come back with the win, taking the victory over Music City. Give me the Tuscaloosa Titans. Finally, in the frozen tundra of Michigan, the Grand Rapids Danger host the Du Bois Dream. Tons of talent, honestly, on both sides in this one. But I saw quite the team to be taken seriously with Grand Rapids last weekend. And this weekend, I'm going to take them to take down the Dream. Though this one could be a sleeper upset. I could be, get it? I'm picking, saying the Dream could be a sleeper team. Come on, you love this show. You know you love this show. All right. As always, I want to hear from you. Tell me your picks, what you think, all of that, your hopes, your dreams. As we say. Email me, absolutely, Ken Buckner at nablbasketball.com. Or, you know what? You can just fill out the form right over there if you're on the website on the left-hand side, nablbasketball.com. Right over there. Pardon me, right-hand side. I don't know. You know where it is. And you do the writing. Next week, you do the watching. We're going to have highlights of all of these games and a whole lot more from this past weekend, plus more special guests. And you know what? You. This doesn't work without you. All right, enjoy week number 2. Tips off this Saturday. Till then, I'll catch you next week here on the BackCourt. I'm Ken Buckner on the NABL Network. I'm going to go jump back in the Oasis. Wow, you can see my house from here.